Looks like Tucker and Fox has decided to part ways. But that's just a microcosm of what's really going on in this country. Let's talk about it. This probably was the last straw in regards to mainstream media. And yes, I'm going to hold Fox's feet to the fire too, because I'm fair and balanced. They, they kind of, even though it's coming off with the appearance that Tucker and Fox has agreed to part ways, I think a lot of this is in part to Tucker blatantly holding mainstream media accountable for pushing the applesauce for the blue flu. Tucker blatantly said that a lot of these networks and mainstream media was at fault of pushing the poke, the jibbity jab, the applesauce. He blatantly said a lot of side effects was linked to that concoction, and yet these networks were still pushing it full force. He blatantly came out and said this. Now all of a sudden, mysteriously, miraculously, they're saying he has agreed to part ways with Fox and the feeling is mutual. I seriously doubt that's how it went down, in my own personal opinion. I believe he was nudged out the door after those comments. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with what he said, because we have all grown to see that truth over the last 3 years. We've all seen it. We've all noticed the contradictions with mainstream media and big tech being in bed with these major pharmaceutical companies who have not been level with us, who have not been honest with us. And then as the people started to ask questions like, why are you just not being upfront and honest with the people and allow the people to make their own decisions? Nobody's health. You could take 100 people, line them up. Wouldn't matter if they're all the same race, around the same height and weight. It wouldn't matter. Because of their individual genetics, DNA, they're all going to have different ailments that affect them. That's just the way it is. And they should be allowed to make the best decisions health-wise in regard to their well-being. But we had all been stripped of that over the last 3 years. We were no longer allowed to have that choice, to even be able to make that decision for ourselves. This is why I think Tucker Carlson was shoved out the door. I don't believe it was a neutral decision between both parties. Like, okay, I think it's best that I go this way and you guys go that way, and we just leave it at that. I don't believe that's how it went at all. This is why I'm glad someone like Elon Musk is in the position he's in. Someone who's not afraid to open up all the books, expose all the information that was once hidden from the public. We all suspected it and we kind of knew it, but we never really had the smoking gun of truth. Until Elon Musk came through and was like, yo, look at what Twitter historically has been doing since 2016, 2015. All of a sudden, everything started to make sense. And now with Tucker saying what he said, and I'm going to try to find those specific quotes of what he said, because it was shortly after that this so-called agreement to part ways came about. And I just think the timing is very ironic. Very ironic. But look no further than Facebook. Now, if Twitter was doing these before Elon took over, if Twitter was in bed with the Democratic Party, it was overwhelmingly so too. They were in bed with the Democratic Party, and Democratic Party was in bed with Big Pharma and all these decision makers behind the scenes. And any and everybody that had concerns and spoke up against that, they were shadow banned or even directly banned, censored, accounts deleted. And no qualms were made about it. It was just like, oh, well, guess you gotta go. You giving out too much information, and we can't have the people following you. No. So especially if you had a big platform or mid-sized platform, oh, yeah, you are definitely going to be a target. And see, I didn't know about the comments that Tucker had put out there until it came up that supposedly he was parting ways with Fox. So immediately I'm thinking like, oh, so Fox News is in bed too with these people in power. People who accept those manila envelopes underneath the table from Big Pharma. Makes you wonder what else is coming down the pike. And now they're going out of their way to smear this man. Trying to say, oh, he's lying about the blue flu vaccine. So here lies the smear campaign coming out of nowhere. Even from a so-called ex-Fox News reporter. Are you guys recognizing the pattern? And that's all you see when you go on Google and you try to find any of this information. The top searches are all ganging up on Tucker Carlson, talking about how he lied about the blue flu vaccine, how he doesn't know what he's talking about. And this is basically the shrapnel and the aftermath of the lawsuit that Fox lost in regards to the Dominion voting machines. And the Dominion company sued Fox. And it's not cut and dry because who was the judge that resided over the case? If you sue me and I have my friend residing over the case, I can sway it to go any way I want it to go. It don't mean it's not true. I could still be lying my ass off, but my friend is the prosecutor and the judge presiding over the case, so it doesn't matter what the truth is. I have more powerful friends than you. That's basically what we're seeing here. As a matter of fact, that's the crux of what we're seeing here. I have more powerful friends in key places of power in this country than you do. So even if you telling the truth about something, doesn't matter. We can go to court and talk about it. And my buddy, who's a judge, will agree with me and side with me. And now all of a sudden you look like the paranoid one, the liar, the tinfoil hat wearer. And on top of that, you're going to be forced to pay financial restitution. And I'll give you a discount on the money that you're going to have to pay me for, air quotes, defamation of character regarding my company. I tell you what, I'll cut your deal. I'll accept less from you if you fire certain commentators, TV anchors, certain personalities on your news desk. You get rid of these specific people, then I will accept less money. This is just my opinion of what really happened behind the scenes. This is what I think happened. So Old Dominion wins their lawsuit. Fox has to pay up. So behind a closed door in the back room, they say, hey, get rid of Tucker Carlson. And we'll cut your deal. You won't have to pay us all the money you owe, just a portion. Fox execs, the people in charge, the movers and shakers, probably was like, okay, we're going to find a way to nudge him out the door. Now, in my personal opinion, Tucker probably got wind of this. And probably was like, well, yo, all right, well, screw you guys too. I'll agree to go my own way if you do too. And then the story comes out today that Tucker and Fox has agreed to part ways, or Fox has fired Tucker, depending on what outlets you choose to listen to or read. And there you have it. And you look all over Google, you have quote unquote ex-Fox reporter saying this is why Tucker lied about the blue flu vaccine. The applesauce, the polka dot. But this is just a small, minute problem of a much bigger problem. This is why I support guys like Elon Musk, because at least he's willing to open up the door, open up the books. Like, yo, look, this is what they're really doing. It's one of the reasons why they can't stand that man. They wish they could financially chop his knees off. And they're probably working on a way to do it. They're probably working on it because they know he's not going to stop. He's going to continue to show the people what's really going on. And there's a lot of people, a lot of powerful people that do not want that. They do not want that at all. They have a problem with that coming out. It's just a domino effect. And it's all a distraction to keep us from paying attention to what's going on with China and Russia. The movement they have started. The crashing of the American dollar. The taking over of basically going to war with Space Force, which is basically protecting our satellites in orbit, because a lot of our stuff is internet driven, computer driven, satellite driven. So now China and Russia is like, well, if we launch certain kinds of satellites into orbit, we can knock out any and all satellite capabilities and communication in the United States. Oh yeah, the rabbit hole goes deep. Deeper than a 304 land on her back on the floor. They want to distract us with UFOs and extraterrestrials. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying 100% for sure that none of that is true. But just like the blue flu, it can be greatly exaggerated to help certain people get the gains that they're looking for. The real Space Force fight might not have anything to do with UFOs and extraterrestrials. That portion might be the ultimate distraction, another one, to keep us from realizing that what these countries really are doing is playing a different version of Galaga and Space Invaders. What country can be the best at not only protecting their own satellites, but blowing rival countries' satellites out of orbit, completely destroying them, cutting down any and all forms of communication for any country deemed an enemy? What if that's the true purpose of Space Force? What if that's the true essence of quote unquote Star Wars? And if there are really UFOs and extraterrestrials out there, they probably sitting on the side. They probably look at us the same way we look at reality TV. Like, look at these idiots here. Hey, yo, pull up. Hey, check this out. Look at this dumb shit. You know what? Let's pop some popcorn and watch these idiots destroy themselves. Same way we watch. Well, not we. A lot of y'all watch these reality shows, these brainless reality shows, full of people that's all cap, looking for attention, creating fake beefs just for clicks and entertainment. If there are extraterrestrials out there, that's just exactly how they probably looking at us. Like, look at these countries. Look at these idiots. They in a race to see who can shoot down each other's satellites first. Hey, Marvin. I'm saying Marvin. I'm just picturing an alien named Marvin. You know. Hey, Ralph, come check this out. Let's check the show out. Look at these dumb earthlings. They're trying to shoot each other's communication capabilities down now. Look at that. What's wrong with them? Are they crazy? Yes. As mankind, yes, we are crazy. All of us. In some way, shape, form, or fashion. Cover it up if you want to. I can see right through you. As a species, we are crazy. We would rather fire a news anchor that tells the truth, even though what he's saying is actual news. And then, to cover it up, let's spam Google, who ironically could also be in bed with Big Pharma. Who knows? We don't know. It's all speculation. It's all alleged. But when you put the tea leaves together and you start to connect the dots, you never know. You never know. How far does the rabbit hole goes? Pretty damn far, in my opinion. And I think I read somewhere where they're trying to crack down on people that use VPNs. Not, like doing malicious and like blatant illegal things, but like regular things, protecting your privacy, the original intent of using a VPN. They want to start regulating those. Probably because they don't want you to, once you find an alternative search engine and resources outside of Google, and they don't want it to get to the point where they don't know who's getting this information, where they're getting it from, how are they able to post this information, because a lot of people would use VPNs to covertly find this information, which according to the Freedom of Information Act shouldn't be a problem. What's the big secret? What are you really hiding? What are you really hiding? Is this the real reason why Google is kind of scared of the AI boom that's going on with Chat GPT 4, so on and so on? All these AI bots that are now accessible to the public. Is this what they really fear? The people having too much power to be able to take the reins and control their own financial destiny? Is this what they really fear? Is this where all these crazy distractions is coming from? The enhancement of technologies. Is this why the Space Force executive chief comes out and says, finally, blatantly says, well, we need to be afraid of a threat coming from outside of the earth? We now have proof of this? Is that another smokescreen? Space Force boss acknowledges the U.S. will begin facing threats outside of Earth. This is a quote. This is a lead executive in the Space Force division of our government. What are these threats outside of Earth? The Project Bluebeam could be another blatant distraction. Could be another blatant distraction. While we're looking up there at technology that's able to project images in the sky, point those images at a certain area, that area already has explosives rigged. So if you time it right, you can make it look like a UFO blew up a certain building, a certain neighborhood. And while we're distracted by that, the real Space Force fight is in the stratosphere with our satellites. Companies shooting down each other's satellites. Is that the new war that's upon us? Is that the threat outside of Earth that they're talking about? Because it's a leading statement. It's kind of leading you to believe one way or another. It's kind of nudging you to form a certain belief system, so they can say, well, we didn't completely lie to you. The threat is coming from outside of Earth. But they're not going excuse me. But they're not going into the details. The threat is satellites shooting each other's down from rival countries. So for decades, countries all over the world have been trying to match the might of the military of the United States. China, Russia, etc., etc. So now all of a sudden they're like, why should we stick to terrestrial weapons? Let's go out towards the stars and create weapons out there. If the United States has the rod of God, for all we know, China do too. Russia do too. We don't know. Maybe they have a satellite with a cyborg arm that you steer it towards a rival country's satellite and it's able to completely snatch that satellite out of orbit. Maybe that satellite is very important to our communications in this country. Not just the civilian version, but the military version too. We don't know. Maybe all these distractions are meant to keep us from paying attention to stuff like that. Oh, what a tangle web we weave. Yes, indeed. So I don't believe the initial story why Tucker Carlson is no longer with Fox. Because executives at Fox seem to think that we forgot how they had a very instrumental hand in stabbing Donald Trump in the back. President Trump in the back. This is what they did. They went out of their way. And a lot of people have seemingly forgot about that. So why would this be any different? In my personal opinion, Tucker Carlson should have been watching this back ever since then. Because if they were able to do that to a sitting president at the time, what the hell made you think you would be different? He should have been watching his back from that day forward. And maybe he was. Maybe he actually was. Maybe he saw this day coming. Maybe he seen it coming around the corner. Which is why he said what he said about the blue flu vaccine. He probably saw it right around the corner and was like, you know what, now is as good a time as any. I need to get this off my chest. But it seems like Google was already ready. They already got their search engine padded. They already got their stats padded. If you was to type in Tucker Carlson tells the truth about the blue flu vaccine, the only thing that's going to pop up is people saying how Tucker Carlson is a liar, how he lied about the vaccine, how he lied about this, lied about that, how he lied about the Dominion voting machines. And any and all anchors tied to Tucker Carlson, they all lied about Dominion. It's the only thing that's going to pop up. That's why they really don't want y'all to have no VPNs. This is why they shadow ban YouTubers. They try to herd all YouTubers in the same little box, whatever box that might be. They want to get you to talking about the same little topics every day, all day, distracting the public, infighting with each other, calling each other names, doxing each other, talking about stupid shit that don't have anything to do with anything. And a lot of y'all have fallen victim to that, the ultimate distraction. Not me. Red Blizzard 357 sees it all. I see the long play. I see the short play. I see the intermediate play. I see the run play. I see the play coming in from the sidelines from the coach. This is why I put out that video about Hollywood being at war with YouTubers. Oh yeah, because they are. For those of you that watch Power, and even 50 Cent said it himself on a post on Instagram. He's like, man, okay, we get it. You gay. We get it. But they got Drew in every episode doing a gay scene, a gay sex scene. And at this point, it's like, okay, we get it. You gay. What about the rest of the story? I'm like, are they paying him 10 times extra than the other actors to play these scenes? I mean, just look at it, man. His scenes be like 2-3 minutes. Then when it comes to a regular sex scene, 10 to 15 seconds. What's up with that? Where's the balance? They have episodes where the only sex scene in the episode is a gay sex scene. And I'm like, you even have gay people that see the agenda and don't like what's going on. You know that's bad. Now you mean to tell me that there's not a specific agenda that's being pushed? Damn right it is. We got to see Diana's titties for like 4 seconds. Four seconds. Trust me, I know I was looking. Now see, peep the long game. The actor that plays Drew, mark my words, his career is about to blow up because of these scenes in Power. He about to get that Will Smith like mega blockbuster film money. He's about to be the next thing pushing. See, in my personal opinion, they wanted to put Michael B. Jordan in that spot, but he falls more under the Denzel Washington category. So they're not gonna give him the same kind of push, because he's not rocking with that community like that. Now, I'm not saying he got anything against them, but you could tell the play and how Hollywood is maneuvering black men. You can see the long play. They about to pedestalize Drew in Hollywood. Cause I gotta roll with 50, even though it was like a tongue-in-cheek slapstick kind of comment. And when he was like, "Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we get it. We get it. We get it. You gay." And the story is, he might not even be that way in real life. But if you read down in the comment section of his post, just read down in the comment section of his post, because I rock with a lot of them comments is right on point. Because it's like, after a certain amount of times, nigga, that's who you is. I don't care. I mean, look at RuPaul. Back in the day, when he's saying, "No, I ain't really like that. I'm just playing a character." Remember he used to say that? Then as the years went on, all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, well, you know what? Yes, I am." He finally came out and admitted it. So I don't know what Drew's name is in real life, but I know one thing. He keep playing them scenes. We just gonna write him off like, you know what? That's what you is, bro. That's what you is. And it's not even having a problem with people that live that kind of life. Hey, do what you do. Make yourself happy. But there should always be balance in society. When you're writing and developing characters, that shouldn't be a prerequisite. It shouldn't be a prerequisite. Like, you know what? You have to like sleeping with the same sex in order to get this role, or this has to be a character that's in this movie just because. Why not just write a script and place people in the script to do the movie, the TV show? It seems like before they even write the script, they're looking for people of certain communities. It's kind of, and that's why a lot of the end product sucks. This is a whole lot of stuff I could say about this season of Power. I mean, when Lorenzo was in prison and Mary J. Blige's character Monet was going to visit him, I mean, you could tell he was the man. Like, he was still calling shots from behind prison walls. He finally came home, had the seat at the head of the table. He was the man. You could tell he was running things. Like, yo, this is how it's gonna be because I say so, period. Now this season comes along and all of a sudden you got him It's like his balls is in a mason jar on top of the refrigerator. Or in Monet's purse. All of a sudden, he's scared to say anything to his bride. They got him all timid. Got his son blackmailing him and running him over. He running up behind Kane like, okay, because he's scared to tell Monet the truth. Because, I'm scared of what she might do. Her character was that of a hoe anyway. Did she have Zeke out of wedlock? Who cares what she think? But it's just the whole just anti-man demasculation of all men being hid in more agendas right in front of your face. That's why you can have somebody like Tucker Carlson ran off the air because he's willing to tell the truth about subjects that make people uncomfortable. Because he's willing to bring truth to people's face, even though if you don't like it and you're uncomfortable with it, he's willing to do that shit anyway. Right in your face. Like, this is what it is. Then you have the powers that be like, oh no, we can't have that. We got to nudge him out the door. Nudge his ass out the door. Don Lemon got his wake-up call too. And the only reason he lasted that long was because he was part of that community. That's what shielded him this long. Because everybody knows if he was a straight black man saying all the things he was saying, they would have railroaded him and toe tagged him a long time ago. They got mad at him because of something he quoted off Google about women. Like, no, I'm not saying that. It's on Google. He should have known women don't deal in facts, they deal in feelings. And that was the beginning of the end. They was on their way to revoke his woke card, his Skittles card. Like, that Skittles card is not going to protect you right now, boy. Who you think you talking to? Talking to these womans like that. Oh, they was on his ass after that. And not in the way that he prefers. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here and rock with y'all for a minute about this crazy world that we live in. The ultimate time-consuming distraction just always laid out right in front of our faces. And they're always betting that we're not paying attention whatsoever. They just know we not paying attention, that we don't care. They know it. They know this. They like, we need to attack while the iron is hot before they really start paying attention and they really start doing real research. No, we can't have that. We can't have the people usurping our power. No, of course not. See, they hear the Sasquatch footsteps of the people, we the people, creeping up behind them. It's making them nervous. That's why they're trying to fast forward all this Project Blue Beam and look outside the earth. You got little green men coming. And that may or may not be true. Or maybe they've already been here. Maybe they've been here a long time, living amongst us. And y'all just now trying to talk about it? No. No, y'all trying to talk about it now because it fits your narrative. It fits into your plans and what you want to do. So now you want to let the cat out the bag. Well, we can't scare the people with diseases and plagues anymore. So what can we do? Oh, I got it. Aliens. Let's give them aliens now. They grew up being scared of atomic bombs and nuclear bombs, viruses, plagues. They've had all of that. We gave them the blue flu and they was barely scared. So you know what we got to do now? Aliens. Not illegal aliens. Extraterrestrial, UFO, little green men, beam me up Scotty to the mothership, aliens. Hit the Cash App, support the content. $ Cobra Clutch 357. Ain't nobody else on YouTube gonna touch on these topics. Ain't nobody else gonna say the shit that I'm willing to say. Shit that needs to be said. Reading between the lines, noticing things that others either don't notice at all, or they notice but they scared to comment on. But these subjects are important to talk about. We must discuss these things with each other. We have to be willing to. Because if we're not, what happened to Tucker Carlson is just the beginning, and it will be a trickle-down effect all the way down to your job, your business that you own and pay taxes on. Doesn't matter if you're a law-abiding citizen or not. If you want to learn certain things and talk about certain things, you will be punished also. So you have to be willing to talk about it. You have to be willing to make moves behind what you learn. Because it's only the beginning. You are a fool If you think it's gonna stop at Tucker Carlson, hell nah. You next. You are next. Didn't Trump tell you? They're not after me. They're after you. And I'm just in the way. Picture that. I mean, he was blatant about it. He was straightforward with it. The one thing you gotta like about Trump, he'll tell you the truth. Straight up. He'll tell you exactly what's going on. And that's the kind of leader you need, especially right now, when you got these other countries going out of their way to tank the American dollar around the world. And now trying to create all these satellite weapons. And make no mistake about it, that's the original intent. The space race. Space Force was created and put in place for combat in outer space. They basically gonna take the war off planet. And it's gonna start in orbit. We start seeing these countries shoot down each other's satellites. That's the Star Wars that we're gonna see. And the Project Bluebeam, Little Green Men, Flying Saucers, that's the distraction for the people. Just another one. Just like the racism, sexism, all that division shit down here right now. That's the distraction for the terrestrial plane. When you get into the stratosphere, the extraterrestrial plane, that war is going to be between satellites of rival countries. But that being said, I'm going to be out. Support the content. Hit that Cash App. $Cobra Clutch 357. I'm out.